Hey y'all, happy Monday. I hope you had a great weekend. It was beautiful here, and we hit so many yard sales, which was a nice change of pace. The only downside is, with the good weather, came slow sales. Do you think it's the weather that's keeping people off of eBay? They're enjoying the outdoors for a little bit and not on their phones and computers as much? It's hard to say. We did still have some good sales though, including this set of 3 different tennis vintage napkins. We picked them up at an estate sale for 75 cents. They sold for $16.95. Our sales weren't bad this weekend, just a lot slower than they have been. But it's also tax season, so maybe they'll pick up in a couple weeks once everybody starts getting their refunds back. Now we have a patch going out, and this is a new old stock souvenir patch from Cabot Trail in Cape Breton, New Jersey. It was a yard sale find for 25 cents. It sold for $9.95. Now we have a CD going out, and I am by no means recommending that you pick up the CD to sell, but we happened to grab it really early on in our reselling career at the bins, and it sold. It's actually going to Alaska. This is the 2-disc version of Frank Sinatra's My Way, kind of a greatest hits type compilation. And there's 2 discs in here, although I can't figure out how to, oh, there we go. There's the second one. We paid maybe a quarter for it at the bins. It sold for $4.76. Now we have a necktie going out, and I have a lot of success with this brand, so I pick it up quite frequently when I see it. It's Museum Artifacts. And this one is actually the Celestial Zodiac type map. Very cool design. Paid a quarter, it sold for $8.50. Now, I love selling stuff I got for free. And you guys, this is probably the biggest one yet. See it back there? This is a leather and wool vintage Redskins jacket. And we got this at that house clean out. It does need to be dry cleaned, but I made sure I put that in the listing. I was not going to attempt to clean this myself. And as you can see here, it's Team NFL, size 2XL. In relatively good shape though for being in a house where people didn't really seem to want to take care of their stuff. We got it for free. It sold for a flat $100. So that jacket sale was definitely a nice little boost on a slower weekend. Now we have some deodorant going out. Yep, that's right. I said deodorant. This is a vintage 1990 Dry Idea roller deodorant. You remember when these used to be out? I remember them being on the shelves. We got it for a quarter at an estate sale. It sold for $9. And yes, it's brand new, never been used. We have another patch going out. This time it is a golf themed patch. Did you guys watch the Masters this weekend? I didn't catch much of it, but it's because I was out yard sailing. This is actually from the Windward Hills Golf Club in Guam. We got this at a yard sale for a quarter. It sold for $10.95. Now we have a Anna Lee doll going out, and this is actually going to be 2 little dolls in a little diorama type setup. Let's get it out here without damaging it. These are 2 fall, autumn type Halloween, harvest, Thanksgiving mice, all of the above, with a little haystack in between and some pumpkins. We paid $1. It sold for $13.56. The next item going out is going to be from that big toy box that we picked up, and this item was a winner. This is a vintage 1987 Tonka Supernaturals Skull Evil Leader, and it's kind of got this holographic face on it. Pretty cool. We paid 10 cents. It sold for $24.95. You guys, I've only got like maybe a quarter of what was in that box listed, and it's already paid for itself and doubled my money more than once, so very happy about it. Now we have this awesome wooden spring music box going out, and when I twist it, you can kind of slowly see it rotating, and the music works on it. I could not resist this when I found it at Goodwill for $2.99. Somebody sent me an offer for $20, and I accepted. The thing is so pretty to me. I love it. Now we have a Pez dispenser going out, and this one is actually going to somebody I knew from back in the day when I was really connected to the Pez community. This person's an artist. I remember that very distinctly about him. And he bought this Chewbacca Pez, but it's special. So you see here on this Pez Girl where it says Slovenia, Most Pez dispensers have the country they were made in kind of stamped on the stem. But this one, for whatever reason, it was made in China and it was printed on the stem instead of stamped, which is kind of an anomaly. You don't see that very often. So it sold for $6.95. Now we've got a very recent pickup going out. This is from the last time we went out of town, so a little over a week ago. We went to an estate sale and I saw this adorable Humpty Dumpty egg toy trinket box thing. It's wood, really nice, hand painted, and we picked it up for $3. It sold for $18.66 and it is going to Germany. Now we have a very old item from our store going out. This was one of our first out of town thrifting trips, maybe a year ago, probably even a little bit more. And I found this sealed Memorex CD RW 5-pack and said, oh, new media sells. So I paid $1. It finally sold for $10.16. That was before I knew how to comp stuff. So now I'm on it. I'm going to check to make sure it's worth even picking up. Now this is an estate sale find, and I think we actually got these at 2 different estate sales, but I can't quite remember. I wouldn't have paid more than $0.25 a piece for these bottle stoppers, so we're going to say we paid $1, and the set of 4 sold for $11.01. Now we have a Creative Memories item going out, so we've sold stuff from all of our bulk buys today, the toys, the Annalise, and now Creative Memories. We sold this pink 12x12 album, and this is one of the newer style ones, so they actually don't sell for quite as much as like the early 2000 styles. But either way, we only paid $0.25 for this album, so you know we're going to make money on it. It sold for $22 on offer. And man, I'm climbing these stairs a lot today. Everything's selling on the high shelves. This next item going out is a new old stock Coca-Cola pillowcase cover. It's like a tapestry on the front and then it's velvet on the back. Still has the tags on it. I bought a ton of these at a thrift store for about 50 cents a piece, and they've slowly been trickling out, but I've definitely made my money back on the buy, so no complaints there. It's really pretty. Paid 50 cents, sold for $12.71. And now we have a DVD going out. This one came from our local children's hospital thrift store. I like to watch their new media, like the sealed packaged DVDs and CDs, and when they finally do like their third markdown, they get down to 59 cents, which is when I picked this Brewster's Millions up, and it sold for $7.95. 59 cents for sealed DVD all day long. Even if it sits forever, I'll still make my money back at a yard sale if I have to. Another toy from that thrift store box going out. This is a Star Wars Rebel Trooper from 2007, I think. Paid 10 cents, sold for $5.95. Now this is a cool item. We picked this up in Wilson, North Carolina at an antique mall. Got a bunch of really neat vintage kitschy type things there. And this is a soap dish. I'm gonna probably say it wrong. L'Occitane? I know it's expensive French soap. We paid $1 for it. It sold for $19.95. And you guys know the office at an estate sale is one of my favorite places to dig. It's amazing to me how much vintage stuff just hangs around in people's desks and filing cabinets. We picked up not too long ago this 13-piece Bic crystal pen set, and it's 10 black, but then it's got 3 fun colors in there, so the orange, the blue, and the purple. We paid $0.25 for this pack, and it's still sealed. It sold for $7.95. And another Annalie doll is heading to its new home. This time we are looking for a mouse, and she's going to be very spring-like. There she is. Got her little basket with orange flowers in it, and I love the little ladybugs on her dress. So adorable. Paid $1. She sold for $13 on offer. And we have another Pez dispenser heading out the door. This time we are looking for an advertising truck, and it's going to be way in the back. I have these boxes sorted alphabetically, and so Wawa falls all the way at the end of the alphabet. This is the Wawa Christmas hauler, and it is from 2020. It sold for $4.21. All right, we have some more Pez going out now, and this is to a different buyer. This is 3 pairs of bride and groom Pez dispensers, and they've made the bride and groom several times. This version's from like the late 90s. There's a redhead, a brunette, and then also an African American couple. Very cool set that sold for $23.50. Now we have a magnet going out, and man, we're just hitting all my favorite things today. I love selling magnets, love selling patches, just a really neat assortment of things today, I think. This is a Arjan frog thermometer magnet, and he's got little googly eyes, which I love, holding his little umbrella, waiting for bad weather. Paid 25 cents, he sold for $10.16. And we haven't sold a hat yet today, so let's sell a hat. We are looking for a white Dodge Ram hat, and this was a bins pickup. You guys, look how white this thing is. I mean, it's got a few scuffs on it, but for the most part, it's pristine, and it came from the bins, which is a miracle. We paid a quarter for this hat, and it ended up selling for $7.91, which I think that person got a deal. Those car branded hats usually sell for pretty good money for me. Now we have a paperback book going out, and that was from that horror/true crime estate sale that we went to. This is called Coroner, and it's basically an expose on celebrity deaths and autopsies, which is kind of weird, but hey, to each their own. We paid 50 cents, it sold for $9.95. I'm sure it's actually a very fascinating read. Now, the last time we were down in Florida, we went to an estate sale, and remember I told you they gave you a trash bag when you walked in if you paid $5? We found these towels in the garage. I literally watched somebody pick them up and put them back down, and I was shocked. It's a washcloth and a hand towel, and they are Yves Saint Laurent, which is amazing. They're vintage, made by Fieldcrest, but double branded. Such a cool item, nice luxury piece, and they are super soft. We paid about 50 cents for them. They sold for $46.71. We have another hat going out, and this time it is a beanie, which I would think beanie season is pretty close to being over, but I'm not mad that it sold. This is an Old Dominion University beanie, which is a college very close to where I live. It's made by Under Armour. And what's surprising is it's actually going, I think, to Pennsylvania. Not anywhere local like I thought it would. We paid a quarter at the bins. It sold for $12.71. And our last item to close out our weekend sales, which there were 29 items sold this weekend, so about half of what we've been doing on the regular. We have this witch mouse standing on top of a caramel apple, which is so cute. We paid $1 and it sold for $15.95. So, like I said, 29 items cost us $17.28, and they all sold for $486 and a penny, which is 28 times our money. Still, very happy with the weekend sales, and hopefully with all the new listings we have going up, the sales will just keep trickling in, which is what we are all about. We'll see you guys soon with another video of what sold.